This is Wise, aka the Human Mix Machine, aka Lito Brigante. And I'm part of Stetsasonic. At one time we was a 7-man band. Now we're a 5-man band. And we just put out a new album. It's been like 33 years, something like that. But we just put out a new album called Here We Go Again. It's on all streaming platforms, Stetsasonic Bandcamp, and yeah, check it out. I think people are gonna like it.
Most definitely. Okay, I had a huge issue with something. I'm gonna bring it up to you.
All right.
In preparation for this interview, I had looked at the top 50 hip hop groups of all time, and I was shocked that y'all wasn't on that list. I was upset about that. So I definitely want to holler at you about that because you are in the group and you did accomplish a lot of things in hip hop. So what I want to know is how in the world is Stetsasonic not a top 50 hip hop group of all time?
I feel like we're very underrated. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been the thing with Stetsasonic, that we've been very underrated. I mean, we put out good records. We have, a very good stage show and stuff, We were always a stage show group. We was a stage show group first before putting out records. Once we started to get used to recording into the studio and stuff, then as time went by, we started to develop our craft in reference to vocals and producing.
Okay, so my thing is, if we gonna go through this, my thing is we need to get rid of the groups on get rid of the list on a whole. I really feel like we need to get rid of the list. And what I want to know is, do you ever see any top R&B lists or any top rock and roll lists or any top blues lists?
No, I have not seen nah. But because see, the thing about it with hip hop, I mean, it's become like a very large genre. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it with hip hop is it's very versatile. We could go in any direction and still wind up being hip hop.
Right.
I remember and this is just in reference to the way that we perform, because we're a hip hop band. That back then we were able to tour with rock bands.
Right.
Because we
Right.
were a band also. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That a lot of rap groups at one time could not do that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Are these lists an attempt to write certain groups out of history? Do you feel that way?
I don't think that they do it intentionally. My thing is that sometimes they they just forget about certain groups and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That once a group is mentioned, like people will be like, oh yeah, I remember them. I forgot about them, and you know what I'm saying. And the thing about it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, me and my group, we're some pretty humble guys and stuff, but that's one of the reasons why we coming back after 33 years.
Right, to let people know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, to let people see that we haven't lost it, that we got better with time.
Right. I agree with that, because listening to the new album, I definitely feel like y'all got better with time lyrically, especially. Definitely stepped up the lyrical content, in my opinion, and it's definitely a well-rounded album as well. I really hope people watching this go check that out.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And one thing, I'm gonna kind of stick to this list because it really got me hot.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
One thing I noticed on the list, it's not a lot of actual groups. It's a lot of duos, but not groups.
Yeah.
So what happened to the group? Because you don't see actual groups anymore. It's either, a rapper and a DJ, or just two rappers. But y'all, like you said, had 7 members. when did rap started to downsize and why?
And that's funny that you asked that question, right? Because one time I said to Daddy O, I said, why do you think there's so many features on everybody's records nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's no more groups. They don't do the group thing anymore. That's why you see a lot of features. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, the thing about it, because with the features, you get to hear different voices, on the songs and stuff. With Stetsasonic, I mean, this album we do have features. We never really had features like the way we have them now and stuff. But with Stetsasonic, you hear the different voices and stuff. They kind of refer us to the temptations of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because of the voices and stuff. Like, Eddie Kendricks and you know what I'm saying? It's just different voices. Everybody has a different voice and stuff. And I think that it makes the record to hear, different sounds on the record and stuff, including voices.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. Another thing that I noticed on that list is a lot of those groups don't have what I would call a classic album. On Fire, I don't care how many is sold, it's a classic album. From the album cover, it comes in layers. What you guys did on that album with the beatboxing by you, the DJing, the rhyming, the production, the fashion, I feel like y'all incorporated different elements of hip hop to create a masterpiece. How did you guys come up with the chemistry to create that album?
The way that we came up with the chemistry is the same exact way that we came up with the chemistry of the group. You know what I'm saying? When Daddy on Delight was the first two members of the group, and then I was the next one, recruited. I met them through a mutual friend and stuff, and he asked me, was I with a group or anything? I said, nah, I just do the beatbox, just to do it and stuff. So he introduced me to Daddy on Delight, and when I met Daddy on Delight and stuff, Daddy O had his little equipment in his apartment and stuff. Gave me a microphone and started doing the beatbox, doing scratches and stuff. And they looked at each other and like, yo, we got something here.
Right.
And after me came Fruitcorn was the next person. Thing about it, I grew up with Fruitcorn and knowing his family and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So me and Fruit at the time, we were pretty much the closest and stuff. After Fruitcorn came Prince Paul. Prince Paul, we saw him at a block party and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was DJing a block party. Paul was only 16 when he joined the group. I was like 17 when I joined the group. We was still, in high school and stuff, After Paul came the keyboard player, DBC. You know what I'm saying? Daddy O met him through a mutual friend and stuff. And then last but not least, Bobby Simmons.
Okay. So, beatboxing, can you explain like the breath control you gotta have the beatbox the way you do? And, because like on Fade, you pretty much like beatbox a whole record.
Yeah. When I was doing it, because I don't do it as much now, but when I was doing it when I was younger, because I was hungry for it. Nowadays I'm hungry to rap as opposed to doing a beatbox, but doing like the breath control and stuff, it's just something that you have to, accustom yourself to. It's just like when you rapping or even when you talking and, you have like a pattern when you talk and, you go, you know what I'm saying? It's like a certain type of pattern that you have to use and stuff, is certain type of sounds that, you inhale, you exhale and stuff. I like I said, I haven't done the beatbox the way I used to do it like in a hot minute because I'm I'm more into rapping now as opposed to doing the beatbox. wrong. Back then, yeah, I was really good,
Yeah.
and Doug bit some of my stuff,
For
believe it
real?
or not. Yes, he did.
For real, yeah.
Yes, he did. Doug bit some of my stuff.
Wow.
Yep, Doug bit some of my stuff.
Right.
That till this day he still uses it.
For real.
On Faye, do you know on Faye when Daddy O says at the very end, Daddy O
I
says,
know what you about to say.
Wise, do them roles that you
you
created.
created.
Yeah.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? And Doug uses it all the time at his show and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was dope though.
Yeah,
that was definitely dope. Like that whole track was dope.
Thanks
You
a
know,
lot.
yeah, man. I mean, that's the classic. That's that and Just Say Stat.
Yeah.
Those are like two of my favorite tracks, period. Not just on the album, but just like overall, songs. Because like I said, y'all incorporated so many different elements, to create something that really hasn't been duplicated since.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a classic. Like if you look at that list, a lot of those rappers are the same. There's no layers or no substance to it. If you listen to Stetsasonic, you getting something different on almost every track. Because y'all got so many different ways to mix in.
We definitely try to to come off different than anybody. We utilize that hip hop band element.
Right, and y'all was the first to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of paved the way for the Roots.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
wasn't no like keyboards and drums and and hip hop at that time.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that Tommy Boy didn't know how to market us.
Wow.
They did not know how to market us, and we like just market us the same way you market a regular group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. The only thing, just add that we're the hip hop band thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, we already have like the dream of how we want to be marketed and stuff like that, and talking to Tommy Boy how to market us, they really didn't know how. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on Unsung, I felt like with Tommy Boy, I felt like we were the guinea pigs of that label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then everybody else that came after, they knew how they was gonna market them and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So do you feel like if y'all might have decided to a different label, y'all would have had a different result, or you felt like the industry on the whole didn't know how to market, a group like Stetsasonic?
I don't think that at that time, like anybody in any label for that matter would probably have not been able to market Stet. I mean, this is my opinion. Mm-hmm. This is my opinion, because the thing about it is that they didn't see the vision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't see the vision. And then, a couple of decades later, you see other people, you know what I'm saying, with a drummer and stuff like that.
Right.
But the difference between other rap groups having a drummer and stuff like that is that with Stetsasonic, we're sort of like a family act. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? With Stetsasonic, our drum, Bobby gets involved when it's time to perform in shows, when it's time to produce music, Bobby gets involved, with everything. Bobby has his own mic on stage.
Right.
Whereas all these other groups that have drummers, all they do is play the drums.
All they do is play the drums, right.
You know what I'm saying? So with us, we're a family. Everybody, usually gets a mic or whatever and stuff, and and we do our thing.
Right. So another thing that Stetsasonic brought to the game that I really didn't see on the list was you guys use hip hop as a voice of reason, especially on records like Talking All That Jazz, which was a record kind of aimed at people who criticize hip hop.
Yeah.
So could you explain the scrutiny that hip hop was under during that time?
Yeah, during that time, because people didn't think that hip hop was gonna last and stuff. That's one of the reasons why we did a song like Talking All That Jazz. Mm-hmm. There were people at the time thought it was a fad, thought it wasn't gonna last and stuff. It was gonna be temporary and this and that. So you know, we used our voice, you know, to let everybody know and stuff that, you know, it's not going anywhere and stuff. It's only going to get bigger from here on in.
Right, right. So then, like, in addition, like with the sampling, you know, hip hop was under a lot of scrutiny because of the sampling, and talking all that jazz, you know, kind of brought the light that, you know, sampling is kind of keeping a lot of the old acts alive, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like with Eric and Rod, you know,
Yup.
with James Brown and stuff to
Right,
keep, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of our, you know, the classic acts from my time and stuff, you know, we was sampling and stuff like that, but only if it was, you know, something that was important to us.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And to make it you know, of course you're gonna know who the previous artist is if you listening to all those old school joints and stuff. You know
right,
what I'm saying? And you know, but we felt like you know, it was something that was just gonna, you know, keep them going as well. Like we were an extension of them.
right, right, right. And the funny thing is, you know, you guys went under all that scrutiny, but now, like, you listen to the radio, pretty much every song has a sample.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So that was, you know, you guys kind of opening doors once again. You know, that's something that you really don't see on that top 50 list.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, yo, we got to get rid of lists altogether, because if Stetsasonic is not on the list, or if the Ultramagnetic MCs is not on the list, you know,
wow.
we got to like get rid of these lists, because you guys are too important to hip hop to be like left off like y'all didn't exist. It just, I don't understand it. I'm just really outraged over this.
I think and this is something that Daddy O always talks about and stuff. One of the reasons why we started recording again is because it's not basketball or football or baseball and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to retire at 30, at 40 and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can continue going as long as your vocals and your ideas and everything, you can continue going as long as you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's you know, and also to get a lot of our classic acts for them to start recording again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know, I feel that because a lot of the classic acts nowadays, a lot of them, you know, they do shows off their classic stuff, just like even in the old school Temptations and you know our brand of hip hop, the classic hip hop and stuff. You know, there's a lot of cats that are on tour and stuff right now that they're touring, doing their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? But doing their old stuff, excuse me. But you know, my thing is to okay, that's all well and good. You know what I'm saying? But now let's give our fans something to brag about.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Let's give our fans, you know, because the thing about it is that all the youth of today, you know, this is the music of today, the hip hop of today and stuff. They got their stuff to brag about and this and that. And the thing about it is that you don't want to sound old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to bring new music to the table and stuff, you know? You want to bring, you know, like a new rhyme style or whatever it is, you know, just upgrade it. And even though we're in our 50s and 60s, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to keep up with it. Because the thing about it is that, especially with Daddy O listens to all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then Daddy O would normally say, yo, I think we should do this kind of track and this kind of music and this kind of rhyme with it and this and that and that. Daddy O listens to everything, you know, and we just do it.
Right, that's what's up, you know. And that's another thing I wanted to ask is, why does rap have an age limit?
And that's funny. It's funny that you asked that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because the thing about it, originally, I wasn't expecting to record. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting to record again. And when the group first disbanded in like 1991, 92, right after the the Blood, Sweat, and No Tears album. You know what I'm saying? We came back together to do shows. So we started doing shows in like 2005, and from then on, we would just continue to do shows. Even till today, we continue to do shows and stuff. And one day Daddy-O got the idea and was like, yo, let's work on the album. Let's make an album and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah. I said, I'm with it. Delight was with it. And we tried to get Fruquan, to do an album with us. We submitted our first single after a long time, called Now Y'all Giving Up Love. We submitted the music to him, but he never gave us any response and stuff. So, I mean, this is a business, you know what I'm saying? And, we got to move on and stuff. If you don't want to be a part of the group, that's fine. We wish you the best. But, we're gonna do something new and see, give our fans, them bragging rights and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, It's been 33 years. That's a long time.
Right.
That's a long time. And and a lot of people says it's like we never left. You know what I'm saying? We continue to get better and stuff, with production and everything. But this time we got outside producers because now we're more focused on rhyming.
Right.
The past few albums, we produced the stuff, music and everything ourselves. But for this album, we wanted to be more focused on rapping and stuff.
Okay, that's what's up.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is the Wild Cowboy with a lot of style, boy. One of one. Punk jump up to get beat down. Slow down. Hey, baby. And I'm here with Circle the Block. You understand that? The great Sadat Circle the Block. Peace.
Word. So speaking of Blood, Sweat, No Tears album, that was an album when I felt like y'all took hip hop global with Africa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't see on the list once again. Kind of using your voice, as a source of reasoning. And y'all was, it was with the Nelson Mandela, Jesse Jackson. How did you guys get Jesse Jackson on the record?
Well, Jesse, his visit out there to the frontline states in Africa and stuff, inspired us to to write about the situation and stuff. And because we felt it was important for everybody to hear about that, about what's going on over there, because a lot of times there's like a lot of messed up things going on somewhere else overseas and you never hear about it and stuff. So this right here, with Jesse Jackson's visit, it inspired us to write the song and stuff and put it together and everything, and even with that being said, we had teaching guides put in schools and stuff.
Right, really?
Yeah.
Right, so you guys really made a difference.
Yeah. We also used to go to, to schools and stuff, and we used to talk, to students and stuff in reference to that, because at that time it was, it was a very big deal.
Right. So stuff like that is why you gotta mention Stetsasonic on any list. Because you guys really put the work in and made a difference in people's lives. That's not to be taken lightly. That's not something that you just forget about and pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because it did. And then you kind of highlight the groups that didn't mean anything to anybody, to be honest with you. Not to say that everybody on that list is bad, but I'm looking at some of those groups, I'm like, how? It just don't make any sense. Who's writing this stuff?
Yeah.
It is all like, due to who they're affiliated with and their management, and it don't have anything to do with the music.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I guess whose ever platform that is, you know what I'm saying, is going to make sure that, they're like, okay, this is who I like, this is who I don't like, this is who I'm, I don't remember, and this, you know what I'm saying?
But how can you forget, Africa? or talking all that jazz.
Yeah, yeah, I
Or
know.
On Fire, like the album cover of On Fire alone.
Yeah,
That album cover is like one of the greatest album covers of all time.
Thanks a lot.
You know, like that's clearly, you know, so how can you forget that?
Yeah.
Or even
yeah.
like Critical Beatdown, like
Yeah,
Boot
with
Camp
Ultra.
Click.
Yeah,
you know, like you can't forget this stuff. So I'm like, you know, if you guys are not on the list, a Boot Camp and Ultra is not on the list, it shouldn't be a list. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I appreciate that definitely, man.
I'm serious. Like I love hip hop. I'm passionate about it, you know. And when I see stuff like this, I understand the impact it's gonna have on the future.
Yeah,
you know, and the impact that you guys had is not to be diminished in any way because y'all had real influence.
Yeah, you know, and we try to. And the thing about it with classic hip hop, if you think about it, you know, everybody had their own sound. You always knew when Public Enemy was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That even if you didn't hear Chuck's voice in the very beginning, just the beat itself and stuff, yeah, you waited like a few minutes. The second you heard Flavor or Chuck, you'd be like, oh, that they back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody, Slick Rick, you know, had a different sound. We had a different sound. Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, KRS-One, and the list goes on. Everybody had their own sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with hip hop today, and don't get me wrong, you know, to each his own and stuff. You know what I'm saying? With hip hop today, to me, it sounds like a long single. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying the same thing, but you know, using different words, but it sounds like a long single. And the thing about it is that radio plays this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Radio plays, you know, it's a lot of stuff that, you know, that's disrespectful to women, and you know what I'm saying? And in reference to shooting and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, put a message in your song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not just talk about, you know, like shooting people and you know what I'm saying? And negative stuff, but that's radio nowadays, if you think about it, you know. So who is radio really playing this music for?
Right. That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Because they, you know, this music, this is what gets our youth. Because think about the way our youth is, the youth of today. Think about it. They're like a lot of times entitled and stuff like that, man. And you know what I'm saying? They're rude, man. They could be rude. You know what I'm saying? They could be rude. And I'm like, wow, man.
Right.
You know, but
it's the way they being programmed by the music.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
And then when they come up with a list, but these groups are dominating the list, so they in their minds like, oh, they are great. They are doing something right. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculous. But
the thing about it, you want to know something though? A lot of these young rappers, a lot of them are getting killed too.
Exactly.
A lot of them are getting killed. I went on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And I saw you know, like a list of rappers, young rappers getting killed. The youngest, the oldest one was like maybe 30.
Wow.
And it was a list of 50 rappers, just this one video. One video, it was a list of 50 rappers, and every single one of them got killed. Every single one. You know, they either got shot, or they either got stabbed, or died, you know, died violently and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's sad. That's sad. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, that you don't have to incorporate, you know, the streets and stuff in that type of manner. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to incorporate, okay, fine, you know, because me and my group, we from the streets too. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta be smart too, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you gotta watch yourself and stuff on, you know, how you present yourself.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm
very
saying? You
important.
gotta watch how you present yourself and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially, there's gang affiliations and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? In the youth, hip hop and stuff like that. And you gotta be careful how you present yourself and stuff,
Very important. So, where did Stetsasonic fit into the hip hop industry where gangster rap started to get real popular?
I know back then we used to tour with Easy and NWA and stuff, and I'll be honest, those guys, were pretty decent guys. They were, really good guys. I mean, Easy, you know what I'm saying? We used to talk over the phone. The first time I heard Easy single, I was in the West Coast. And when I heard it, I liked it. I bought it. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe the following year we were touring with Easy and NWA. It was us, Public Enemy, Easy E, NWA, Ice-T. Who else? I know it was like at least 5 or 6 groups and stuff. East Coast and West Coast touring together though. You know what I'm saying? And getting to know Easy and I mean, it was I loved it, man. I told him, I said, I bought your album. I bought it because I was the only one. When I came to Brooklyn with his album, nobody around the way knew who he was. They didn't understand anything about him or anything. I was the first one to bring it home. You know what I'm saying? And I used to play his album all the time, and we used to talk and stuff like that. And he has sent me NWA's album before it came out. He sent me NWA t-shirts, posters. He sent me a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he was a cool dude. Very cool dude, man. I mean, I don't know if in that movie, Straight Outta Compton, if it was, portrayed the right way and stuff like that. But Easy, very cool individual. You know what I'm saying? My guys will tell you, Easy and NWA, very cool individuals, man. And when the gangster rap came in, I knew they had something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I knew they had something. When it came out, I knew they had something. And when we was on the road, I was talking to Ren and I was like, yo, I said, you guys got something here. I said, you guys got something here, I said, because I liked it. I gotta admit, I liked it. And the thing about it, with NWA, I mean, they was, the way that I took it was like this. They was explaining, you know what I'm saying, the things they see.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The things that they see and stuff like that, they just brought it on record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it turned into something big and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the West Coast, and you know what I'm saying? And I love West Coast music. I love their music and stuff. I love, the artists there and stuff. I got to meet quite a few of them and stuff and tour with, with a lot of them. And you know what I'm saying? And these guys, all of them, very cool, man. It was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was nothing but love and stuff, And when gangster rap came in, we was working on the Blood, Sweat, and No Tears album. Now, it took us to do that album, Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, it took us a whole lot longer than we should have. And when the Blood, Sweat, and No Tears album dropped, the rap game was changing.
Right.
So since it took us long, it's not like we can go back and correct it.
Right.
Even though Blood, Sweat, and No Tears was a good album. It really was. It was a good album. But, and this is my opinion. I felt like, like it was a little outdated because it took us so long to make that album. It took us almost 3 years.
So why did it take so long to make the album? Was it because you guys were doing different solo projects during that time? Or was it like creative differences?
That's exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was both those two things. you know, and with creative differences, because the thing about it is that we're all individuals too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own ideas of, you know, what they want to do and stuff. And, you know, it wasn't like the first two albums. At the first two albums, we got them done in good timing. You know what I'm saying? And we was still in that the era of what's the word? We was still in that type of zone, you know what I'm saying, of putting out that real, you know, that good music, that good classic music and stuff. And I don't, it's hard to describe it and stuff, but we pretty much put it out a whole lot faster than Blood, Sweat, and No Tears.
Right.
And with Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, it's like, you know, like I said, the rap game started to change, and it took us a little too long to put that album out and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good album, but when we do shows, the songs that we would normally do is from the On Fire album and the In Full Gear. We've never really done Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, any of the songs on Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. Because the thing about it, just as the album was done, the group disbanded. So, right. You know what I'm saying? They never got, the record company never got to promote the album the way that it should have. You know what I'm saying? And
so like everything kind of like went wrong on that album.
Yeah, during that album, yeah. You know, if you watch our episode of Unsung, you'll see, you know, exactly what I'm talking about and stuff, because everybody gets to talk on Unsung. So, you know, we talk about that third album as well and stuff, you know, and like the way Paul said, you know, it seemed like it was a bit fractured, and I have to agree with him. It was a good album, you know, but it took a little bit too long for us to finish it and put it out when it should have came out. It should have taken us, you know, maybe at least only a year, or maybe a little less than a year, to do the album and put it out. But it took us almost 3 years. Wow. You know, the landscape of hip hop was changing.
Right. So like when the album came out, who were some of the artists or the game changers that came in during that time?
Let me see. I know Eazy-E and them started elevating a little more and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Snoop and them. You know, the West Coast definitely started coming into effect around that time.
Right, facts.
You know, the West Coast was, they I gotta admit, they started taking over, and it's true. They started taking over. I'm like, you know, but it's, you know, I wasn't, you know, like angry with them or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got love for them, you know, even though like a lot of these cats, there's cats that I never met. I never met Snoop Dogg, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of, you know what I'm saying? He grew up.
Right.
He grew up. You know, because he has a family to think about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of him. You know, even though I've never met him, I'm very proud of the person he's become. You know what I'm saying? Because he's very successful, and he did it all in a positive way and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're younger, sometimes, you know, you get into things, it happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It happens with some people and stuff like that, you know, especially if you're gang affiliated. You know, but he thought about family and stuff. He put family first, and you know what I'm saying? That was his motivation for success. You know what I mean? You got other cats. You got Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of Cube and whatnot. You know, he came a long way and stuff. Very proud of him. You know, all these cats that went into different ventures and stuff, man. You don't know how proud it makes me feel. You know what I'm saying? That I see these guys doing other things and stuff, and you know, and they're good at it, and they blew up, and it's positive. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of all these cats from, you know, back in the days, and even, you know, rest in peace, Nipsey, you know, was trying to do his thing and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was sad. I was watching a documentary with Nipsey and what happened and stuff like that, you know, and it's sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah, it's your boy, Aguilar Don Bishop. New album out, Endangered Species Protocol. And right now, we getting the interview live right now on Circle the Block Radio. You already know what it is, Propane Campaign. Let's get it.
So Coolio, rest in peace to Coolio. I have to ask you this too, who was also on Tommy Boy, said, you know, Tommy Boy sabotaged all the artists on their third album. And then you sitting here telling me that Blood, Sweat, No Tears, the third album. I mean, the group disbanded and everything just went wrong. So, do you feel like Coolio was on to something when he made that statement?
He probably was, you know.
Did you like experience that with the label during the third album?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We were going through some stuff with Tommy Boy during the third album and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That even you know, recording this third album, like I said, it took us longer to record and stuff, because at this point, you know, we were starting to have certain issues with the record company, because they wanted 4 albums from us. That's why we disbanded on the third, so that they didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Because at Stetsasonic, you could not get the album. We're not together anymore. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you know, the contract was void. You know, they couldn't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, man, with Coolio saying that, I'm like, wow. I never really thought about that. You know?
Right, because he broke it down. He was saying that on the third album, if it sold so many records, there would have to be a bonus paid out or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody from Naughty by Nature to Queen Latifah, Coolio, you know, all of those big groups.
Yeah.
You know, a third album didn't do as well. And then you say the same thing, like, you know, All Fire was a classic.
Yeah.
4 Gear, talking all that jazz, classic. And then Blood, Sweat, No Tears, even though Africa was a monumental record. The album itself, like you said, it took too long to make. It was, you know, somewhat outdated. You know, so he definitely was on to something.
You know, because this is the first time I'm hearing that, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's like you can put it up on YouTube. Like, it's still up on YouTube. Yeah, he really broke it down on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to peep that.
So the new album, can you let people know where to get that new album at and what to expect from it?
It's presently on all streaming platforms. You can go to Bandcamp, Stetsasonic Bandcamp, and the new album and stuff. You know, as I listen to it and stuff, I'm like, we didn't lose a step. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was pretty proud of this album, because think about it, after 33 years, you know, 1991 to 2024, that's a big gap.
Right.
It's a very big gap. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I kind of didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? So as we were doing each cut on the album and stuff, because I know as the years went by, I started to develop more and more as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And I even changed my name. I mean, people, they still know me as Wise, but every time when we have a video, you know what I'm saying, it's always gonna say Wise, aka Lito Brigante. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, the guys wanted me. What I didn't do for the first few albums and stuff is something that I'm doing now. They wanted me to incorporate my Spanish heritage, because I'm Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? So there's a song on the CD called Introducing Lito Brigante, and I'm doing English and Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted me to incorporate it to give the group another sound You know what I'm saying? Not just the beatbox, not just everything else that we do, but to give the group an extra sound as well and stuff. And at first, I didn't want to do it. You know, I said, it may not work for me. You know what I'm saying? I said, I could read, write, and speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But I said on a rhyme, I said, is it gonna work for me and stuff? And when I tried it, it sounded really good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I think I got something here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so I did you know, I did what they said. And the thing about it is that I also came up with that name, Lito Brigante. Now, the name, you ever seen that movie Carlito's Way?
Yeah.
His name was Carlito Brigante.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I cut the call part and I put Lito Brigante.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and the thing about it, his character, the character he played was Puerto Rican. So I was like, yo, I said, I can use that and stuff. And I asked Daddy O and him, I said, what y'all think about that name, Lito Brigante? And they was like, yo, use it, man, use it, you know? I said, all right. I said, so we have to incorporate it in everything. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we've started that since we started promoting, you know, with the album and everything and stuff, you know, I always mention, you know, that's AKA Lito Brigante. If we doing videos, we always put it on the video because, you know, I want to get that name out there that people, you know, people know what that's his rapper alter ego. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the Human Mix Machine, that's my beatbox alter ego. You know what I'm saying? So now Lito Brigante is the rapper.
No doubt. When is that video dropping for the Cypher?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. You know what I'm saying? Each of us, because we communicate on WhatsApp, you know what I'm saying? We have a group chat on WhatsApp. Right. So we talk about everything. Music, we send each other music, video, whatever it is, we send it to each other. And they don't want to drop the video not yet. You know what I'm saying? They still want to do a little bit more promotion on it before it comes out and stuff. Because, you know, also to have Smooth the Hustler on that.
No doubt, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he killed it.
No doubt.
And even the female, Mala Reigns and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? We introducing her and stuff. You know, I met her through Daddy-O and stuff. And like I said, Daddy-O got good taste when it comes to artists and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Artists is doing music and stuff. He very good taste, you know.
No doubt. Right.
But that video, you know, it should be coming out soon. I don't want to say, you know, exactly when, because I don't know yet, you know.
Right.
Had he given me a date, I'd have been like, okay, it's dropping.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because it was that was a dope track, you know.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, definitely a dope track. I also like the joint with Rusty Jukes.
Yeah. Notes of impression.
The beat was fire. I mean, that's like what I'm saying. You know, y'all still after 33 years, you can't tell me it's 50 groups better than Stetsasonic after listening to that album. I'm sorry. It's not 50 groups better than Stetsasonic. There's no way possible. So right now, can you let people know where to get in contact with you at, where they can look for the new video dropping, etc.?
On my Instagram page is wise_Stetsasonic. On my Facebook page is Wise Roman, ROMAN. And Instagram is The Real Stetsasonic.
Okay. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that, you know.
Yeah, the album, once again, the album is called Here We Go Again, you know, and it's the perfect title for our first release in, you know, 33 years and stuff, you know. Yeah, and we're definitely very proud of that album and stuff after all this time, you know, and to see that people, you know, everybody that's heard the album is like, wow, they didn't lose it, you know, they came back strong.
No doubt, for sure.
Yo, what's up? This is Wise from Stetsasonic, aka Lito Brigante, and you listening to Circle the Block Radio. Listen, y'all. Peace.